Welcome to Pinellas County Schools TV here on Channel 14 and YouTube. My name is Eric Keaton. Our team has great news. Thanks to Spectrum, we have received hundreds of videos featuring Pinellas County Athletic events dating back to the 1980s and 90s. They are classic high school football, basketball, baseball games, and more, showcasing some of Pinellas County's greatest alumni and contests. Starting Thursday, September 12th, we will debut our classic Game of the Week on Channel 14 and premiere the game on our YouTube channel. Visit our website to see what games will be on the schedule, and we will ask for the community's input on social media to find out which game you would like to see in October. So tune in, subscribe to PCS TV on YouTube, and we'll see you on the classic Game of the Week.
Jack White Stadium on the campus of Clearwater High School. Tonight, the Tornadoes at 4-4 host the Countryside Cougars. Countryside comes in at 5-2. Welcome to the Catch 47 Game of the Week. I'm Drew Felios. We are privileged to be joined tonight by Tampa Bay Storm wide receiver Lawrence Samuels, the all-time leading receiver for the Storm. Welcome, Lawrence.
Well, thanks, Drew, man. I feel like I'm back in high school again out here tonight, and it's great, and thank y'all for having me out.
All right, Lawrence, let's talk about this matchup, Clearwater and Countryside. You know, when you talk about Countryside routinely, you usually talk about the passing game, but they have been running the football this year, and nobody does it better than number 5, Maurice Threes.
Well, talking to the coach, Maurice has been the hot hand as of late. They've won their last 3 ball games, and they're looking to get into the playoffs, so he's a big part of the offense.
Ed Castiola on defense. I know we had some trouble pronouncing his name last year. We won't this year because he makes plays all over the field. But when you think of Ed, what do you think of?
This guy is the energy of the defense. He is the guy that will be coming off the edge, blitzing because of the fact that they're going up against a strong passing team tonight and a great quarterback because this quarterback leads the county in passing, and so he's really going to have to come up and have a big game.
You know, speaking of quarterbacks, tonight we're going to see one of the best all-around athletes in Pinellas County. Loucks needs no introduction.
Oh, no, this guy is amazing. If you can watch on the screen now, he can throw the football. And he's 6'4" and about 205, and he's an amazing quarterback.
I know you've been doing your research also on Joe Marshall, number 99 on defense for Clearwater. What can we expect to see from him?
Well, this guy, he's a big part of the defensive line for them. He's a beast. I tell you, he is a beast, and he's a load. And he's also used on the goal line package. And at 335, he's going to be very tough to stop tonight.
He's going to have a huge impact on the game, but keep in mind, he will be out for the first quarter tonight for disciplinary reasons, so we'll keep an eye on Marshall as he enters the game. Clearwater and Countryside, one of the hottest rivalries in Pinellas County. Who is the real CHS? Find out next on the Catch 47 Game of the Week.
Clearwater High School, one of the oldest high schools in our entire viewing area. Did you know 1906 when Clearwater High School opened, and what a sight just moments ago, the color guard singing the national anthem, and here come the captains from both teams out on the field. Let's take a look at our Catch 47 top 10 poll here before we start. When we look at the teams 1 through 10 and the teams on the bubble tonight, Countryside has a chance to move at least to those teams on the bubble. But Lawrence, some great teams 1 through 10 led by Armwood and Lakeland.
Oh yeah, Armwood and Lakeland, they've been playing great football throughout the years, throughout the counties around the Tri-County area. And then you look at Largo, it's right there. They're 7-0, and Manatee, which is always a good team. So you got the state champs last year of Plant. So it's a good group of teams right there in the top 10.
That's the top 5. Kathleen, Ridgewood, Winter Haven, Palmetto, and Land O'Lakes round out your top 10. And some big news with Winter Haven. They have forfeited their rights and going for a state championship. Winter Haven using an ineligible player. Shocking news in Polk County over the last 24 hours. As we get a look at the Countryside Cougars. Countryside High School, natural rivals with Clearwater. A lot of the kids that go to Countryside way back in the day would have gone to Clearwater, but have since gone to Countryside, and what a program John Davis has put together. 25 seniors, 23 juniors, the same number of sophomores and 7 freshmen as Coach Davis. You had fun talking to him down before the game. He is such a vibrant coach.
Oh, he's full of energy, and this coach hasn't missed the playoffs since he's been at Countryside. So he's looking to have a young team that he's brought along. They started out slow at 2-2, but they're getting better and better each week, and that's all he can ask for. And he's had a great group of guys, So he's very confident tonight, and he's going to bring his guys out, and hopefully they can come out victorious tonight because they're trying to get into those playoffs.
Here come the Cougars. A win tonight will clinch a playoff spot for Countryside. And they also need a win next week over Eastlake as well. The roster for Clearwater not very deep. You notice not many players on this team, 54 in all. A little bit thin here at Clearwater High School under Coach Tom Bostic, but still, this is a team capable of beating anybody. Some quality wins this year for the Tornadoes. When you talk about the big win they had over Gibbs High School, that was a shocker. Also beat Osceola 47-31 the second week of the year. And when you have a quarterback like Luke Loucks, who's a difference maker, anything can happen because that's where it starts in football at the quarterback position.
Like I said, Luke is an amazing quarterback. I watched him in the pregame warm-ups, and he can throw the football. He has some weapons. He has Chris Sackman at receiver, and he has some other guys at receiver that can actually catch the football. So, anything can happen, and with the leader at quarterback, he can make some plays.
There's a look at Luke Loucks, number 5. We'll be featuring him at halftime, and what an interesting kid he is. A senior year that should be fun. He's still got a basketball season yet to go, and a name we're going to be hearing on the Beef O'Brady's High School scoreboard and the game of the week throughout the next few months, because Clearwater's basketball team expected to contend for a state championship.
That's right.
As we get set to kick it off here, the Tornadoes will boot it away, and Countryside will receive. Maurice Threets and Brandon Lockwood back to catch it for the Cougars. And Julian Bowe will kick it off for these Clearwater Tornadoes. There's the numbers on Bowe. He's a senior, having a nice year here at Clearwater. As they will kick it off from the 40, and we are underway. Bowe lays into it, and it'll be Maurice Threets in the end zone. And in high school football, that ball is a touchback. That's a rule that my regular partner, Jeff Carlson, does not like.
Nah. Actually, I was watching some games in Texas, and they actually let the kids bring it out the end zone. So I think that's a rule that they might want to change because of the fact that you can bring it out in the college game, and in the NFL, you can bring it out in that. Why not start practicing it in high school?
Jimbo Chmelik, there's the numbers on the year, has done a nice job replacing L.D. Crow, who was a legend at Countryside over the past few years. Chmelik's first pass is complete. He's got 6 yards, is out of bounds. Is Richard Shockley.
Yeah, they lined up in the I formation right there, and Coach went with a little play action just to start the game off to loosen up the defense a little bit.
Here's the offense. Lawrence for Countryside High School. The tight end, Jesse Cortez. And up front, Joe Cruz with Wizawati, Mike Wizawati, Eric McClellan at center. They've had some problems snapping the football. But Sean Sokup also on the offensive line. This play not getting much as Clearwater's right there. Danny Fritz on the stop.
Yeah, they're going to swarm to the football. This team's going to play hard, and you're going to see a lot of different multiple formations from the Countryside team. Coach Davis, he really has his team doing a lot of formations to try to find some matchups and loosen up the defense. But Clearwater's really going to come after them hard right here. You can see with the play right there, all guys to the football.
That brings up a 3rd down and 5 from the 25. Countryside's got to get to the 30. I formation, and Chmelik will pitch it. Here's Maurice Threets. And Threets has a Countryside 1st down and more all the way out to the 39.
Coach Davis just said that he had the hot hand as of late, and now he's coming around the end. So there's Davis again. He's going to be a big part of the offense tonight.
Maurice Threets has come on as of late. He had a very tough summer, did not participate in any of the Countryside workouts with the rest of his team. Coach Davis says he was wary about whether even to let Maurice play, but here he is in a starring role for the Cougars, playing very well. Little reverse action. And going the other way for the Cougars is Ryan Epps. Epps is the backup quarterback, and he's got a few yards out to the 44.
Yeah, it looks like he's got a gain of 3 right there, and the coach said he's gonna, try to loosen him up with a little trick plays tonight, and there's one of them.
Ryan Epps, very athletic as well. Saw him in that 7-on-7 league playing quarterback. Can really get it done with his feet. You saw a sample right there. Another little misdirection play to Brent Scannell. And Scannell across midfield.
Great run, breaking tackle.
Scannell all the way to the other side, down at the 44. This Countryside offense with a lot of different variations.
Oh yeah, like I said before, multiple formations. You're going to get a lot of that, a lot of different personnel coming in and out of the football game. So you're going to cause some matchup problems tonight.
That's a 14-yard gain. Coach Davis, his offense moving it here on the first drive, impressively, with now 3 wide receivers in the game and in motion, Richard Shockley. They'll go to Threets, a nice move, and Maurice Threets all the way to the 30. That's good for another Countryside first down. So far, he has really been playing well.
Yeah, he's been playing well as of late, like Coach said. He has the hot hand. They also have another runner back, Darts Roberts. He's a great one-two punch for the Countryside Cougars.
Georgia Southern showing a lot of interest in Maurice Threets, but he will have some choices as where he will attend college over the next few months. Play action, another well-designed play. Wide receiver screen, it's another first down for the Cougars. Dragging tacklers all the way to the 10-yard line is number 2, Martavius Jones.
Oh yes, Martavius Jones is one of the big playmakers, one of the receivers in the offense. So he's the big playmaker on there. There's their leading receiver. So the coach is trying to get the ball into his playmaker's hands. That's a great run. Great run by Martavius.
There's the numbers on Martavius this season. And they'll go to Threets. Maurice Threets will score a Countryside touchdown.
Right off tackle.
Oh, that was impressive. We have not seen a drive like that on the game of the week so far this year.
No, you have to give credit up front. It starts with the offensive line, and the offensive line has really been coming along. They have 2 studs at the tackle position, and their young line, they had some problems snapping the football as of late, but as of right now, they're doing a good job, and they're really coming off the football, creating a lot of holes for the running back.
So Countryside with 6, and on to kick the extra point, William Griswold. Griswold's kick is up, and it is good. 7-0. Cougars in the early going. They could not have started much better than this. They're playing like they've got a district championship at stake tonight. Just straight up the gut.
Yeah, it's a very interesting. It's going to be interesting to see when Big Joe Marshall gets in there. Maybe he can stop some of that run game that some of those holes that open up in their defense.
Well, lately this rivalry has been dominated by the Cougars. Take a look at the series history. Countryside has won the past 5 meetings, dating all the way back to 2002. The last time the Tornadoes won this contest, 2001. That was when Clearwater won 23-20. As we get a look at the past 6 meetings. But can you believe, even with all those Countryside wins, Lawrence, Clearwater still leads the series 17-6. So before 2002, they were trailing 16-1.
Well, you have to give credit to the Countryside coach. He started out in 2002 up until now, and he hadn't lost to the Clearwater Tornadoes as of late. But anything can happen, and we're going to get to see a potent offense with a great quarterback, number 5, Luke. Loucks. But he's going to, you know, like I said, he's done a good job. The Cougars have made the playoffs all 5 years that he's been there, and he's trying to get another notch under his belt.
Here is Luke Loucks, 1,537 yards passing so far this season. What do you see right now, Lawrence?
A little motion, trying to throw him off, a little misdirection play.
Give is to Brett Bostic, and Bostic has maybe a yard up to the 31-yard line. Let's take a look at this Clearwater offense. They are impressive with Bostic. We just saw him. Sanford, Chris Sackman, one of the best receivers in Pinellas County, with Malcolm Grigley and Justin Merchant, who Loucks also likes to go to. And there's the guys up front: Hokuler, Skulacek, Hudson Jeltima, and Michael Barber.
No option play on the left side.
Another well-designed play for the Tornadoes. Is to the other side of the field. Brett Bostic gets it all the way to the 43-yard line.
Yeah, I think that's going to be key, that Clearwater established himself in the running game to actually try to balance out their pass attack. That's a great run by Mr. Conley right there.
Well, the Tornadoes trying to respond. Countryside went right down the field on their opening drive, and Tornadoes moving it, and Luke Loucks is yet to throw it. They'll go straight up the middle. Here's Danny Sanford, and Sanford gets it up to the 37-yard line. Let's take a look at this Countryside defense. Chris Ramsey, Alex Miller, and Camilo Herrera up front. The linebackers: Ed Castiola, Blake Johnson, and Greg McManus, number 42. And in the secondary, Richard Young, Brent Skinnell, Brandon Lockwood, Chris Bostic, and Aaron Tam. Another straightforward play for the Tornadoes. They have used Loucks as a decoy. Do you think this is a little bit of strategy from Coach Bostic? They haven't thrown the ball yet so far.
Well, you know, you always want to establish the running game at the beginning of the game. You know, you want to establish the guys up front. You want to come off the ball and get a little attitude about yourself. And actually, they're coming off and they're being successful with the running game, and they're moving the football. So that's all it really counts at this point. And eventually, you probably would see a pass coming up here.
Here's Loucks along that right side, and Luke Loucks doesn't get much before he's knocked out of bounds at the 28-yard line. Chris Ramsey, the defensive end for Countryside, is going to have some options on where he wants to go to college. Roxanne Wilder down on the field with more.
Well, that's right, guys. Defensive end Chris Ramsey has had an exciting fall so far. I'll tell you his recruiting story. He has an offer from Troy State. He's actually had a visit with Iowa State. And in the crowd tonight, staff from Middle Tennessee, they want to take a look at this guy. His coach, John Davis, says he's also a phenomenal student, a 3.5 GPA, and he's the kind of kid who's going to give you everything he's got on the field. Back upstairs to you guys.
All right, Roxanne, thank you very much. We'll be keeping an eye on Chris Ramsey coming off that edge tonight. Loucks downfield, got a man open.
Touchdown!
Touchdown, Tornadoes. Chris Sackman got behind everybody and pulls in the first touchdown of the game for 6.
Like we said before, this kid can throw the football. He can throw it. And he has some weapons, and his main weapon is Chris Sackman. He leads the county in reception and also in receiving yardage.
Well, Coach Tom Bostic called Chris Sackman the best wide receiver he has ever coached, and we have seen why with just one play as Luke Loucks finds him to get the Tornadoes on the scoreboard. Here's Julian Bowe on for the extra point, and the kick is up and good. We are just underway here at Jack White Stadium. Hang on, Countryside and Clearwater in a battle when we come back. The top wide receivers in Pinellas County, this guy, number 1, Chris Sackman from Clearwater. Look at the yardage there for number 2. 594 receiving yards. He is also up there in receptions as well. Chris Sackman, one of the best there is. And Lawrence, I know as a wide receiver, you appreciate a guy like that making plays.
Oh yeah, if you can, anytime the receiver can go down the field and catch the ball and make plays for his quarterback, he's going to be the main guy. And Chris Sackman is that main guy for Clearwater, as you see, and he's leading the county in receiving yards and receptions.
Julian Bowe kicks it off, and he kicks it in the end zone. So Countryside again will have to start on their own 20-yard line. Coach John Davis really wants a win on the game of the week. Last year, his team played tough, but consecutive losses to Dunedin and Largo in the playoffs. Tonight, Coach Davis says, hey, I'm due for a win on the game of the week. But he has done wonders at Countryside High School, just an offensive mind at the high school level.
Oh, he's a great coach. Since he's been at Countryside High School, he has always made the playoffs. And starting out slow this year, 2-2, but he's come along the last 3 weeks.
So let's see if the Cougars can respond after Clearwater countered their opening drive. Schmelnick hands it off, and a couple yards as Maurice Threets works his way to the 22-yard line. At the high school level, Lawrence, just looking at this offense and the way they have moved it up and down the field for Countryside, when you were in high school, how complex was your offense? Is there a limit to what you can teach high school kids? Because I always marvel at the way Countryside attacks other teams offensively.
Actually, throughout the years, the offenses have really become more complex throughout the high school because of the fact that they run the same plays in college. Mm-hmm. And if you can do it at the high school level, that's what the college coaches want. That's what they want to see. And that's how they come and pick their recruits, when guys making plays, just running the same plays that you see on Saturday.
Well, there you saw a play made on defense by Terrence Jackson as he hit Ryan Epps as soon as he caught the football. And Countryside will be faced now with a 3rd and 10 from their 20-yard line. But yes, the offenses at the high school level just getting more and more diverse. Mm-hmm. And you see that with Countryside right now with 4 wide receivers on the field. Trying to get away was Chemelnick, and he's going to go down. A big man making the play for Clearwater, Jamon Hunter. And Jamon, number 57, comes up with the big sack after Chemelnick was flushed out of the pocket.
That's a big defensive play for Clearwater right there. Anytime you can get that offense off the field, it's big tonight because of the fact that they're so potent, and Coach Davis is an offensive-minded coach. Oh.
Fumble on the exchange. And Clearwater trying to get into the end zone with it, but I believe it's going to be down at the 1-yard line. They call it a safety. So Pete Kondodiakis, the punter for Countryside, can't handle the snap. And I think in this case, maybe a safety is good for Countryside because they saved a touchdown, really.
Oh, that could have easily ended up as a touchdown right there. He did a great job recovering that fumble, and just sacrificing the 2 points was big right there.
So maybe a heads-up play by Kondodiakis, because even if it's Clearwater ball at the 1-inch line, still you're likely to give up a touchdown. This way you give up the 2 and you still have a chance to stop them on defense.
Yeah, you have a chance on defense to make a stop, and it's still a 1-possession game.
So a big turn of events here at Clearwater, and Countryside now will try and regroup as they'll have to kick it away to the Tornadoes after the safety, and Clearwater will get the ball back. Brett Franklin looking on for the Tornadoes. As we said before, not many guys on this Clearwater roster. Very thin, as are a lot of football rosters here in Pinellas County. Not as deep a county altogether as a Hillsborough County. When you look at teams like Wharton and Armwood, you're likely to get 60, 70 guys on a roster, but that's not always the case in Pinellas County, especially with your buddy Stevie Thomas at Bogosiega.
Oh yeah, you have a lot of guys going both ways, but you try to filter in your athletes where you can put them in and make plays and have your team become successful. Whoa.
Ball's on the ground, and barely coming up with it is Kendricks Anderson. Anderson saved a fumble. That could have gone the other way for Countryside. Let's take a look at the district standings. 5A9 looks like this. Dunedin undefeated in the district, 5-3 overall, with Countryside right behind them. That's why Countryside needs a win tonight, and they got to beat Eastlake. It must beat Eastlake next week. And if that's the case, it'll be Dunedin and Countryside advancing from this district into the FHSAA state playoffs. But Eastlake still fighting there, 1-1 also in the district. Palm Harbor and Clearwater as well. Not over yet. Still a couple weeks of football to be played as Loucks is taken down on the option. Making the play for Countryside was the player that Roxanne Wilder talked about, number 4, Chris Ramsey.
Oh yeah, Chris Ramsey. He's a great ball player, and like they said, it's a lot of scouts looking after him. So he's a big entry. He's a very big part of that defensive front. They run a 3-3-5, so they got a lot of guys in the box to try to shut down the run.
Here's Luke Loucks, he'll hand it off. And it's a good play for the Tornadoes right up the middle. Brett Bostic. That is close to a first down at midfield.
Yeah, Brett Bostic's really been coming along for Clearwater all year long. He's been a big part of their running game, and he's the guy that they go to on the running game.
You know what stands out too for Clearwater, Lawrence, is the fact that Luke Loucks, he looks like your prototypical drop back passer, but he's running the option and he's throwing the ball long downfield. So he's got the prototypical passer look, but yet he's running the option all the time.
Well, that option, it comes with basketball skills, and he can handle the ball. So, that's a big part of his game. He can handle the ball. He's the leader on the team, and that right there speaks for itself. He's a phenomenal athlete.
Well, right now they are going right at Clearwater as Danny Sanford picks up another 11 yards. So Clearwater clearly trying to expose the middle of that Countryside defense. And this Countryside unit, not very big. They are fast, they are athletic, but not very big up front. And that could be the one advantage that Clearwater has, size up front.
Yeah, talking to Coach Davis, he said they are small up front, but they have 11 guys that's going to fly to the football.
Here's Loucks throwing it downfield. He's got Sackman. Sackman stays in bounds, and he's knocked out at the 20. There is a flag on the field at the 46, so this one could be coming back. Legal motion on the Tornadoes, so this one will come back, and they'll march it back 5.
5.
And as the referee makes the call, Lawrence, you're noticing something at about the 25. Looks like Sackman's shaking up.
Yeah, he looks like he's shaking up a little bit.
Ooh. Oh, Chris Sackman, I believe, ill, as we just saw him clearly sick, as Sackman's going to have to go take a seat. Something not agreeing with him, possibly in the pregame or just the jitters, but rarely do you see that in a high school game.
Oh, yeah.
But at the pro level, I've seen that before, but rarely at the high school level when you're playing at 7:30 at night.
Oh, yeah. But he's tough. He's a tough kid. You can tell the way he's catching the ball tonight, and his routes I'm watching his routes. He runs real good routes, and he's catching the ball with his hands. That's a big part of being a receiver. So he's going to bounce right back, I think.
So Sackman goes out temporarily. And here's Bostic in motion. Luke Loucks hands it off, and it's another big play. Danny Sanford pounding his way to the 20.
Seems like the misdirection play is going to be working all night.
A 26-yard gain for Danny Sanford. So this Clearwater team with not a lot of momentum coming into tonight, getting off to the good start and a chance to go up 9 points in this game. Well, this is the exact type of start that Coach John Davis talked about that he did not want to happen, because he said Clearwater scares me. As they'll hand it off, and Danny Sanford is hit immediately. It was Alex Miller on the stop. And Lawrence, last week, I mean, Clearwater did not look very good for much of that game against Palm Harbor. Coach Davis said he was at the game and just was there watching, and he said, you know, they look so bad that he thought that, oh boy, they're going to play great when they play us next week.
Yeah, if you look at Clearwater, you know, they started out really slow last week. They were down 34-0. But the second half, they outscored the team 24-3. So they're very explosive, and they've really got off to a great start tonight against Countryside. So that's a big part of really coming in and competing and having a good game, is to come out and get a good start. So they have really got a good start. They've really established themselves tonight.
Well, you always see something new at high schools every single week, where the game of the week makes a stop, but rarely do we see this when the sprinklers just go on during the game. As they do get shut off, a round of applause by the fans. We're at Jack White Stadium, Clearwater High School. Drew Felios, Lawrence Samuels of the Tampa Bay Storm, and Roxanne Wilder down on the field. Tornadoes gave up an early touchdown to Countryside. Cougars went right down the field, but Clearwater came back, matched that touchdown, and then got a safety on that last possession when Pete Kondodiakos fumbled the snap for Countryside. The Clearwater Tornadoes, what a road it has been for them. 2 wins in the opening weeks against Seminole and Osceola, but then they stubbed their toe a few times against Lakewood, then Eastlake put it on them 24-0. The biggest win against Gibbs on September 28th. That was huge. You know who coaches at Gibbs? Offensive coordinator Jaquez Green, former Tampa Bay Buccaneer. Here's Luke Loucks throwing across his body, and that was nearly picked off.
Oh, that was a dangerous throw, a really dangerous throw. They always tell quarterbacks to not throw across your body and back across the field, and you can see why, because defenses, they really are quick to the football when you throw back across the field.
Almost picking it off was Craig McManus, number 42. Chris Bostic was also there. Richard Young, another good player in that Countryside secondary. 3rd down, about 10 yards to go. Let's see if Loucks can convert on 3rd and long. He'll keep it and pitch it. And for Clearwater, Danny Sanford's going to be stopped about 2 yards shy of a 1st down. So that's a pickup of 8. And now it's decision time for Clearwater. It's also the end of the 1st quarter. An entertaining first session. It's Clearwater 9-7 over Countryside. Back after this on the Catch 47 Game of the Week. As we get a look at Clearwater's Luke Loucks, just makes you reminisce about the past great 2 sports stars in our viewing area. Russell Evans from Plant City, that's a blast from the past. Also Kenny Kelly from Tampa Catholic. Loucks we're watching tonight. Adrian McPherson, who went to FSU, also saw him in the arena game. And then, of course, Brad Radke from Jesuit High School pitched for the Minnesota Twins. But, Lawrence, you said that you had an experience with Adrian McPherson.
Oh, yeah, I had an experience with him last year at Grand Rapids. He's tough to tackle. He's very shifty and very quick. So he's a great athlete.
McPherson got into some trouble at FSU. Eventually wound up with the New Orleans Saints and made his way to the Arena League right after that. Joe Marshall has entered the game for Clearwater at fullback. So an interesting strategy here by the Tornadoes. This is a big kid, but why not on 4th down and 2? Tornadoes trying to keep the football. This is a big play for Countryside. Loucks will fake it to him, and Countryside is going to hold. Short of the 1st down, the Cougars with the defensive stand, and they'll send their offense back on the field. A nice defensive stand by Countryside.
Going through my sources, they said that Big Joe Marshall would come in on short yardage and goal line package, and he's a load to bring down, and they didn't give it to him that time, but I'm pretty sure they will find a way to give him the football because he's a big guy.
It was Brandon Lockwood making the stop for the Cougars. So Lockwood with the big play, no gain, and Countryside with the football again. Jimbo Schmelnick was red hot on that first drive. Let's see if he can keep it going. They'll hand it off, and it's more shifty running for Maurice Threets. 12 yards out to the 25, a first down for the Cougars. Boy, what makes a great running back?
Oh, the offensive line, definitely. You know, you can be very talented at running back, but you have to have those guys working up front for you. Now in that play, you can see they double team number 99, Big Joe Marshall right there, and they opened up a hole right up the middle.
10 yards a carry so far. Let's see if Coach Davis just keeps on feeding them. They go to the fullback.
He's tackled by Marshall.
Joe Marshall is there right after he picked up 2 yards. Richard Shockley. Shockley impressive. He can catch the ball. He lines up at fullback as well. Really a versatile weapon for this Countryside offense. And how much does it help? You got Coach Davis with the offensive mind, but you also have kids that can play in a lot of different positions.
Well, that's a real intricate part of the offense because you have to be good on both sides. You have to also be able to block. And as you see right here, that's a great run right there.
Wow, what a run by Maurice Threets.
You look in the backfield, number 80, he's had a good block out there on the edge.
Check out these moves. Looking like Lawrence Samuels on that play.
A little better than me. That's one thing Coach Davis said, that Shockley is really improving with his blocking.
Yeah, he had a good block on that last play. Threets just keeps on threading the needle, and he is all the way up to midfield. That is maybe a half-yard shy of a first down, but Countryside moving the football with Threets. This has all the makings of a high-scoring game as Maurice Threets. You said it right at the top of the broadcast, Lawrence. He is red hot. He has not cooled down yet.
He's been a big part of the offense as of late. In the last 3 ball games, he's really turned on, and Coach Davis said he's the hot hand of the offense. So he's really getting the ball and doing good things with it.
He'll take a break right now, and Countryside will give it to Dorrance Roberts, the other head of that two-headed attack. And Roberts has it all the way to the 38. Well, we told you this Countryside team can run the football this year, and you're seeing why. First it's Threets, then Dorrance Roberts, and it's another first down for the Cougars.
Well, with Dorrance, he gives them a different style of running, and Coach said he's more of a downhill runner, just like on that run right there, and he's really a quick scat back.
What a 1-2 punch they have on this team this year. Roberts actually faster than Maurice Threets. Threets is just a little bit shiftier as Countryside sees something they don't like, and they'll call a timeout. So we had some showers earlier on in the day, but so far the weather has held up here in Pinellas County. It's actually turned out to be a pretty nice night. Well, we've been talking recruiting so far earlier on. We told you about Chris Ramsey. There's also another big-time recruit on the field. Roxanne Wilder down on the field to tell us about this yak.
Well, Joe Marshall is back in the game, and I'll tell you what, guys, you want to talk about the saga between these two teams. Joe told me he's dying for the Clearwater Tornadoes to beat the Cougars tonight because he said as long as he's been with this team, they've always lost. So it's very important for him as a senior tonight to get the win. He's got a 3.1 GPA. He's getting some attention from big schools. He's got a visit coming up with Iowa State. So keep your eye on Joe Marshall tonight. Back upstairs to you guys.
All right, Joe Marshall is big time. Also Wisconsin, Boston College, USF in the mix with Auburn. A lot of schools after his services. Maurice Threets tripped up. He got it just to the 35-yard line. Going through that process, Lawrence, when A lot of schools are going after you. You went through it. What's that like as a high school senior?
Well, it's a very exciting time in your life. You know, you're playing the sport that you love, and you're getting a lot of attention from the student body, and you know, you get to go on visits and different things like that. So it's a very exciting time in their life, and oh, big run right here.
Maurice Threets just keeps on running. All the way to the 5-yard line, a 1st and goal now for Countryside. Threets making a case for catch 47 player of the game, and we're not even out of the first half. Boy, right now, if you're Clearwater, how do you counter this?
This is going to be a tough task tonight, I tell you. They also have another running back, Darrence Roberts, that can come off the bench. And Coach said, you know, it's very interesting to have 2 guys that, you know, you don't ever really get tired at running the ball and running your play.
They go to Threets inside, and Clearwater there to make the stop.
But like I said, you got to give credit to the guys up front, and they really opened up a lot of holes tonight so far as of late. And Threets has really taken advantage of it.
So it's a 2nd down and about 3 yards to go. Ryan Epps has entered the game at quarterback for Countryside. He'll pitch it, and with it is Brandon Lockwood, who wants to throw it to Epps on the other side. A touchdown for the Cougars. What a play.
Oh, what a beautiful play that was. Quarterback throwback play out there. That is nice.
Talk about the design of this play, Lawrence.
I tell you, they set it up perfect with the sweep and the running game, and they got everybody to commit to one side of the field, and it was a beautiful pass. The quarterback was wide open on the backside.
Griswold on for the extra point, and the kick is up and good. Countryside, they are up for the challenge tonight. It's 14-9, the Cougars leading over Clearwater with 7:47 to go in the first half. Little trickery as Brandon Lockwood takes the pitch and finds Ryan Epps on a 3-yard touchdown pass. That was classic Coach John Davis. Countryside High School opened in 1979. You know, their first winning season in football, 1980. It didn't take them long. 1981 to 95. Yeah, 2 winning seasons under 3 head coaches. Not a lot of success, but slowly started to come around. 96 to 2001, they made a few steps, and then from 2002 on, once they got John Davis in, successes followed. 5 winning seasons. Look at the win percentage. .719, one of the best teams year in and year out in Pinellas County. Really neck and neck with Largo year in and year out. And they have had some great quarterbacks at Countryside over the past 4 years. On the return for the Tornadoes is Stephen Booth, and Booth gets it up to the 22. Well, you had not been to this Jack White Stadium, Lawrence Samuels. You said that you've driven by it a million times. Now that you've got a chance to see it up close, what do you think?
Oh, it's a great atmosphere. We used to go into the beach. You always drive by the stadium. You always wonder what a football game is like in this stadium. And tonight, I'll tell you, it's a big crowd on hand and rival game. And we're looking for have a big ball game out of both teams tonight.
Luke Loucks on 1st and 10. Clearwater still going with that 2-headed running attack. And Brett Bostic takes it to the 25 for a pickup of 2. Talked about Clearwater's basketball team. This has become basketball country over the past few years. Jack Coit has done such a remarkable job, but Tom Bostic still maybe looking for that one more historic season to put in his belt before he calls it a career as a head coach. He has been on the sidelines for 40 years around these parts. So Bostic clearly a legend at his craft as Another couple yards for the Tornadoes, up to the 28. Bostic going to be about 5 yards shy of a first down. That'll bring up third down. Luke Loucks showed us the arm on the opening drive, hitting Chris Sackman. Has been running a lot of option tonight. And at halftime, we will feature number 5, up close and personal with Luke Loucks. And get inside the head of one of the best athletes in Pinellas County. I'll just say it, the best athlete, I think, in Pinellas County all around, hands down. Loucks swings it out to that left side. And this is going to be short of the first down. As driven out is Justin Merchant. And Clearwater's going to have to punt.
Oh, yeah. They tried to run the screen play. It's a good call. And it just Coach Davis has the guys that are flying around to the ball. They're a small defense, but he has 11 guys that's committed to get into the football. And right there it showed, right there on the screen play.
So the Tornadoes come on in punt formation. And back to receive is Maurice Threets for the Cougars. I would not want him to have the football after what he has done. Rushing it. Over 100 yards already from Maurice Threets, and that's what Clearwater does, trying to keep it away from him. Cougars will let this thing bounce, and Clearwater will pick it up at the 48-yard line. So far for the Countryside Cougars, it has been the Maurice Threets show. Got it going early, right up the middle, breaking tackles, also showing some moves, Lawrence.
Oh, this kid can really run the football. He has good technique. He's low center of gravity, good cuts, and he's showing the speed right there. And the offensive line has really been a beneficial part in his productivity tonight.
So we will take a break. When we come back, it'll be Countryside football, 1st and 10 from the 47. 5:55 left to go in the first half. Creating the future. Countryside High School has opened the doors for so many great athletes in the past. When you look back at just the past 4 years, look at the schools some of the players from the Cougars have gone. Chase Hobby to Navy, Jermaine Filer to Marshall, Harrison Beck went to Nebraska, he's now at NC State. Seaver Brown starts for South Carolina. LD Crow playing for Jim Harbaugh at Stanford. AJ Matthews from that team last year playing for Iowa State. And Josh Martinez at Memphis. Little play action here on first down, and they'll hit Richard Shockley. A big gain for the Cougars as Shockley is out of bounds all the way down at the 35-yard line. Well designed by the Cougars on the hookup from Schmelnick to Shockley.
Yeah, Shockley's wide open on that play. That's one player, that's one position that really goes unaccounted for at the high school level, is the tight end position. It seems like almost every play the tight end's wide open.
Boy, it is so pretty from upstairs to watch this Countryside offense move the football. Here's Maurice Threets, big hole. Threets bounces it outside. And ball comes out of his arms, but it is out of bounds, and they'll mark him out at the 19. So another first down run for Maurice Threets. He has just been unstoppable.
Oh, he's having a big game today. And like I said, the offensive line has really been a big part of his game. And here comes the other two-headed monster, number 20 in the game, Dorrance Roberts. So it really doesn't fall off too far from the senior down to the junior running back.
Well, he's got 126 yards so far. He better check out, because if he keeps it at this pace, he's going to have 300 before the night's over. Here's Schmelnick with Shockley in motion. And they'll give it to Roberts. Dorrance Roberts with the burst of speed all the way to the end zone for the touchdown.
I tell you, Dorrance Roberts is he was an honorable mention all Pinellas team last year, rushed for over 900 yards and 13 touchdowns. So it doesn't fall off too far from three. I tell you that now.
Boy, he just shoots right in to that gap, and there's no one there, and Dorrance Roberts could have run from here all the way to Largo. Look at the numbers on the season. Surprising he does not have more yards. Man, if he gets the ball more consistently, I'm sure Coach Davis will make sure his running backs continue to get more touches because they have been very impressive tonight in this first half.
86.
As of late, Maurice has had the hot hand, so you're going to go with the hot hand. But I tell you, Dorrance Roberts, he's just as good. So anytime you have two running backs like that, you're always fresh at the running back position.
Late substitution for Clearwater. Joe Marshall rushes into the game as they'll line up for the extra point. Here's William Griswold, 2 for 2 so far tonight. And movement again, they'll march this one back, it looks like, for the second time.
Dead ball, false start.
Countryside will have to kick it again. Usually don't have mistakes like that in week 9. But maybe it's good to get those out of your system before the playoffs begin. This now a difficult kick for Griswold. A 31-yarder, no problem. He boots it through, and it's 21-9 Cougars. Another look at the touchdown run from Dorrance Roberts.
Oh, right there you see right on the left side right there, big hole, and the speed of Roberts shows right there. He's just running away from the defense.
So some great skill players on this Countryside team. We have called out the names tonight of Richard Shockley. They've got a quarterback, wide receiver, and Ryan Epps, who makes plays. Dorrance Roberts, Maurice Threets. So many weapons to choose from. And so many shows to choose from on Catch 47, but please make the Beef O'Brady's High School Scoreboard high on your priority list. Every Monday at 6 o'clock and 8 o'clock, we've got the scoreboard. This Monday, Manatee looks for their 3rd consecutive district championship. Also highlights from swimming regionals as Megan Romano from Northeast looks to continue her dominance on the high school level. It's the Beef O'Brady's High School Scoreboard only on Catch 47. I got to ask you, Lawrence, because you're talking about how much you watch Catch 47 every single night. How much do you watch the high school scoreboard?
Oh, I watch it all the time. I tell you, it's a big part of my afternoons, and I tell you, it's good to have Catch 47 to broadcast the high school games of the week because of the fact that you can't make it to them all, but it's good to see them on TV, and it gives the exposure to these kids because we do have a lot of talent in this area of the state. But that exposure gets people to come out and watch our talent and to get these kids in college and get them to move on.
Countryside faithful, always the funnest group of fans, or most fun, I should say, that we see annually on the game of the week. Boy, last year we had so much fun with the Cougar faithful, and they are out and about tonight, watching their team leading 21-9. Boy, he better hurry up and jump on that. Down inside the 10-yard line is Stephen Booth. A tough play on the kickoff. Well, we've been talking all night about Luke Loucks, Roxanne Wilder in the stands with some very special guests.
Well, you guys talked about what a talented athlete Luke Loucks is, and I'm here with his parents at senior night, Mr. and Mrs. Louck. And guess what? He has a lot of talented athletes in his family. He had some siblings that play sports as well.
Yeah, 2 older brothers and a younger sister, and Luke always was trying to play catch up with his 2 older brothers, so they're 3 and 5 years older.
And so he had older brothers to kind of beat up on him and toughen him up. That's why he's so tough out there.
Yeah, they did. They beat up on him, but I think Luke's caught up to him now. Probably passed him up.
And you just told me the good news about where he'll be attending school next year.
Yeah, he's going to attend Florida State on a basketball scholarship, and he's real excited about that. And just spent last weekend up there, and he'll be signing here in a couple weeks officially.
We had a great time. We went up there for his official visit last weekend. It was a lot of fun. We're looking forward to it.
So you guys are going to be big Knowles fans now.
Definitely.
Well, congratulations. You guys must be very proud. Good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. Back upstairs to you guys. Thank you.
I'll tell you what, there is not a better student athlete, I think, in our entire Bay Area than Luke Loucks. Had a chance to spend some time with him earlier this week, and just what a great kid. I mean, there's so many great athletes around this area, Lawrence, but when you have someone who's got his feet on the ground like Luke Loucks, it just says an awful lot.
Oh yeah, education is a big part of being in an athlete's life, and to keep them on the field, and he's doing them both. That's great.
Loucks pitches to Brett Bostic, and Bostic out of bounds. He has a Tornadoes first down, so they'll move the chains.
Misdirection option.
You know, aside from that touchdown pass to Sackman, we have not seen Loucks really open it up for the Tornadoes tonight. Do you expect to see that more throughout the night?
Well, I think Coach Bostic is trying to keep it a little bit balanced. But you can't just open up with pass, and then, Countryside, they'll just back up and cover just the pass and won't be worried about the run. So you have to keep the defense on their toes on both sides of the run and the pass.
Loucks will pitch it. It's Bostic again, but not having any of it was number 56, Ed Castiola. We talked about him in the pregame, have not called him very much tonight, but Big Ed makes a big play.
Oh, he has a lot of energy. He's like the leader on the defense and defensive side of the ball. And as you see right there, he makes a big tackle right there in the backfield. So he's one of the guys that really has to have a big game for Countryside to come out victorious tonight on the defense side.
Ed Castiola, look at the numbers, Lawrence.
39 tackles, 4 tackle for losses. There's another one, and 4 fumble recoveries, 3 forced fumbles, 2 sacks, and an interception. So he does it all. It seems like he's the Iron Man of high school football right now, doesn't he?
He is right now for Countryside in white. So second down, about 13 yards to go after the loss. Loucks wants to throw it downfield, looking long. He's got a man out there, but just overshoots Malcolm Grigley. He was wide open at the 35-yard line, and Loucks wishes he had that one back.
That's what I think Coach Bostic is trying to establish the run game and make them come up and try to stop the run and go deep on them. And he had a shot right there, just a little bit too far for number 15. Malcolm Grizzly, a little bit too far for Malcolm.
Boy, Loucks showing the arm on that play. 2 of 4 so far. Only 26 yards. Now a 3rd and long. Tornadoes nearly forced now into a passing situation. 4 wide receivers in the game. Countryside will play man. Loucks will step up, wants to throw it, and it's got his receiver. 45-yard line, it's caught by Justin Merchant, and a first down for the Tornadoes.
That's just what I was talking about in the opening. He has a great arm and very accurate with the football. Hits the guy right in stride, coming on the dig route. Awesome play. Way to read the defense. Good, smart decision right there.
What was impressive, too, is Loucks stepped up and did not panic. He had a lot of guys around him, but still kept his composure.
Yeah, and he was poised enough to know where the line of scrimmage was to stop and deliver the football. That was a great pass.
Justin Merchant, another one of the talented skill players on this Clearwater team. You hear a lot about Sackman, but Merchant also one of Loucks' favorite targets. Luke will step up, but this time snowed in by that Countryside defense. A big sack made by number 44, Derek Wolfenbarger. And several other Cougars there to feed on Luke Loucks. This time just a covered sack looked like.
Yeah, that's what that 3-3-5 defense presents. It presents a lot of problems for that offensive line up front because you don't really know where the 4th guy is coming from. So right there, you can see that they got in there and they got to a quarterback right there.
Derek Wolfenbarger doesn't have shoddy numbers either. Boy, a lot more athletes on this Countryside team than I originally thought coming into tonight. These kids are impressive. Loucks under pressure again. Will step up again and get knocked out of bounds at the 47. So that'll just pick up a few yards. Tornadoes got to get to the 43 on the other side, so this is going to bring up a 3rd down and at least 10. And Loucks right now is going to take a little bit of a breather because he's been on the run the past few plays.
Yeah, like I said before, the 3-3-5 defense presents a little bit of a problem up front because if you can see the last guy kind of delays and the offensive line takes his eyes off of him and he comes in free and then the quarterback has to scramble and use his feet to make a play. And then the other guys, they converge on him. So they're going to have to find a way to pick up that 4th guy in the 3-3-5 front right there, the 33 front.
Justin Merchant closest to us.
Screen.
They'll screen it off, and without a chance is Brett Bostic. That football went off the helmet of Colin Hudson, number 52, so Bostic never had a shot at it. Describe this, Lawrence.
Well, it was a great call, but the offensive lineman just didn't get out of there quick enough and to get out of the way of the Bostic. And if Bostic would have caught it, he had a lot of open field right there to make a play.
So the Tornadoes now in punt formation. It'll be Julian Bowe kicking it away. Maurice Threets back to receive. They'll kick it to Threets this time. He'll fair catch it at the 29-yard line. Our next game of the week, we're staying in Pinellas County because next Friday, we got a heck of a matchup. Largo travels to Gibbs, the Packers and the Gladiators. Largo tries to stay undefeated on the year, hoping that they win, of course, tonight. They'll take on a Gibbs team led by new coach Yusuf Shakir, offensive coordinator Jaquez Green. It's Largo at Gibbs next Friday night, live on Catch 47. Countryside right back, and they'll throw it downfield, looking for Martavis Jones, and Jones makes the catch. Oh boy, a flag comes down. He may also draw a pass interference, but let's check out the flag. What do you think? Offense or defense?
That looks like that might go on the defense right there. But that was a big play, big time catch by Martavis Jones right there, going up with his hands. You know, you really don't see that too much on the high school level. And he goes up with his hands and makes the catch big time. He's a big playmaker. He's 3rd in the county behind Chris Sackman for Clearwater in receiving reception. So he's the big playmaker on the on the Countryside offense side of the ball.
It'll be a 1st down for Countryside. Here's another look at the play. As a receiver right now, what are you thinking about when you're Martavis Jones? Ball's in the air, what are you thinking about?
You just want to get your hands on the ball, get your body in position right there. And you see he positioned himself so well to make the play. He also drew the flag. So right there, you're just thinking about getting your hands on the ball and getting position and coming down with the catch.
Lawrence, that is great body control by Martavis Jones. As we've got a timeout on the field, Tornadoes want to talk it over. This is a key drive. They need to get a stop on this drive. Hey, every Tuesday on Catch 47 at 6 and 8 o'clock, watch Catch 47's Extra Point. This Tuesday, Tom Buring and Mark Robinson will have the last word on the Bucks' interstate clash with the Jacksonville Jaguars. They'll also break down all the college action around the state. It's the Catch 47 Extra Point right here on Catch 47 every Tuesday, 6 and 8 o'clock. Who do you like this week? Tampa Bay and Jacksonville. Jaguars have to play Quinn Gray, their backup quarterback.
I think you might have to go with the Bucks this week. You got to go with the Bucks this week. Jacksonville didn't look too well with the backup quarterback with Quinn Gray back there. You know, he's the backup, and we put him into a bad situation last week. And you know, going against a tough Indy team, I don't know. It's either them or New England right now. And I tell you.
Here's Maurice Threets, right up the gut and right into the end zone for Countryside.
Like I said, that's the 1-2 punch that you have to be prepared for. And I tell you, the offensive line has really opened up some big holes up front. And Maurice Threets is really taking advantage of it tonight.
The early part of this game, Clearwater tried to run it up the gut on Countryside. They had some success. but Countryside eventually tightened up. Tonight, every time the Cougars have tried to do it to the Tornadoes, there has been no answer. 153 yards for Maurice Threets. Now 28-9 after the extra point, as we get another look at number 5 in effect under the lights.
Right there, the trap block, and he's off to the races. Good, quick running back.
Maurice Threets, another touchdown for the Countryside Cougars. Like I said, making his case for Catch 47 player of the game. Another show we want to tell you about on Catch 47 every Tuesday, 6:30 and 8:30. Join St. Pete Times writer Tom Jones along with his media roundtable as they'll look back on the Bucks and Jaguars, plus USF and UConn, Florida State and Duke, and Florida and Georgia. Lots to talk about on the Press Box with Tom Jones every Tuesday at 6:30 right here on Catch 47. So many shows on Catch 47, the Press Box and Lightning Strikes with the Tampa Bay Lightning, our latest offering on the channel. As more disaster on a kickoff for Clearwater. Boy, they have not been able to make those positive plays the last 3 times, as Stephen Booth will have to take another loss. And in the spotlight tonight for Clearwater is Chris Sackman. He started strong, had the touchdown on the opening drive, but since then, Sackman's been quiet. There's his numbers coming into tonight. Pinellas County's leader in receptions and receiving yards, but again, keep in mind, very quiet since that opening drive.
Seems like Sackman's out on the sideline right now. I don't think he's back in the ball game after the big hit he took on the sideline over there in the first quarter.
Well, that is true, and that may be one of the storylines that has kind of affected the outcome. As Sackman, we have not really seen him effective ever since he came out of the ball game early in that first quarter. Let's see what Luke Loucks can do. Loucks on the option is going to take a big shot, get it up to the 7-yard line, and pick up 2 yards. So here he is, finally entering the football game, Chris Sackman. And Clearwater needs him tonight to stay in this football game. Now under a minute. Would have been nice if the Tornadoes had a shot to put points on the board before halftime, but they are backed into a hole and just want to make sure they don't make any mistakes before the intermission.
Yeah, you look like you got a little cover 2 man going on right here.
And they'll give it up the gut. It's Danny Sanford for positive yardage. Now 30 seconds to go.
Yeah, but those 2 deep safeties, they're not going to allow them to throw the ball down the field with 30 seconds left in the game.
Total yards so far, Countryside racking it up. Most of those coming on the ground, 285 yards. And an offensive display in this first half. Maurice Threets has just been exceptional. Also, Darrence Roberts and Brandon Lockwood have had some carries as well. Roberts, man, had that burst of speed, and it really kept this Clearwater defense honest throughout the night. And because of that, because of the running game, every time that Jimbo Schmelik has dropped back to pass, that's why he's 6 for 6 on the night. I mean, his receivers are wide open.
You know, that's one of the keys to the offense for Countryside. You know, if you get that running game going and the guys have really established themselves in the running game, it's going to leave a lot of passing lanes for the quarterback to go down the field and find those receivers like Martavius to go down there and make big catches like he did before.
Tornadoes will hand it off again to Sanford. That could be the final play of the first half. Countryside wants to see if they'll want to stop the clock here. I believe they'll just play out the first half. Clock stops naturally after a first down. But coming up at the half, we'll have a Toyota Sports Connection update. We'll also get up close and personal with Clearwater senior Luke Loucks. That's all coming up at the half right here on the Catch 47 Game of the Week. So don't go anywhere. So on the first down, they'll give it up the gut again. It's Sanford. He's been a hard-working man tonight, and that is the final play of this first half. Back and forth in the first quarter, but in the second quarter, Countryside began to dominate, and the Cougars trot to halftime with a 28-9 to cushion. And Lawrence, just an impressive offensive display by the team in white.
Oh, they really established themselves early coming out with the first drive, and Clearwater answered, and then they came back with the special teams play, which I thought was big. The special teams plays really changed the field position for Countryside, and then now their offense is clicking on all cylinders, and now almost everything they do is just wide open.
So Countryside will trot to the half, leading by 19 points, and in the driver's seat is Countryside with a win tonight, and with a win against Eastlake, they could clinch a playoff spot. So the Cougars 28-9 leading, and right now down on the field, Roxanne Wilder with head coach John Davis. Roxanne?
Now, Coach, you guys have been able to effectively run the ball tonight. Probably scouting Clearwater, you thought you'd be able to do that, but are you impressed with what the guys have been able to do?
I have. Offensively, we've looked real sharp. I think we scored every time except one series. But very proud of the way that we're playing right now. But I'm going to tell you, against this quarterback, you never have enough points.
Well, you mentioned the quarterback, Loucks. You have been able to keep him in check tonight. What are you going to tell the guys they need to continue to do in the second half to keep doing that?
Well, we got to put some pressure on them, okay? And we got to do a little better job covering in the secondary. But overall, I'm happy with the defense too. Other than the first drive, we pretty much shut them down. So right now, it was a good first half, but that was it. We got 24 minutes to go.
Now, I understand you guys actually worked on celebrating in practice to get a little more team camaraderie going. Have the guys been effectively celebrating tonight?
Well, I don't think it's quite time to celebrate yet, okay? But we do practice that, you know.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck to you.
Thanks.
Back upstairs to you guys.
He is always a hoot. Head coach John Davis of Countryside. 28-9, your score at the half. We are back right after this on the Cats 47 Game of the Week with a Toyota Sports Connection update. The Countryside Cougars lead the Clearwater Tornadoes 28-9. We are at the half here at Jack White Stadium on the campus of Clearwater High School. Well, he is the quarterback of the football team at Clearwater. He's also point guard of the basketball team. But most importantly, Luke Loucks is a leader. Earlier this week, we had a chance to get up close and personal with the big man on campus.
I've been blessed with some abilities, and I just thank God for those abilities that have been blessed to me. So, I mean, you just got to keep working hard or someone's going to catch you. So.
You have an established program as Loucks fires away for three. Trying to squeeze it in, able to get it back.
Both teams are really getting after it on the rebounding side.
What a look by Loucks. Loucks right now stroking it.
As he came in as a freshman, first practice where he was throwing his extremely hard passes and knocking out my seniors one by one.
Hesitation by Loucks.
Oh man, that was a big time pass.
His ability to see the floor and get the ball to the person when the person can score. I think that's what makes a great point guard, and that's what his ability is.
I've never really had someone who excelled on that level. I know before I got here to Clearwater, they had Hassan Jones, who was on a state championship basketball team and signed with FSU for football. So we have had some, but probably not on this level. I mean, he's a leader. He's a good athlete. He's fun to coach. He listens, and he works hard.
I'm a hard-working person, and I mean, obviously, it's going to be tough for any high school player to jump to the ACC, and so you know, you obviously can never stop working hard, but I'm ready for it. So. I mean, you walk around the community. I mean, obviously, if someone says my name, they're going to think of sports automatically. But I would obviously like people to know me for more of a person, as well as the sports I play. It's more about what you do in life than what you do on a field or in a court. So.
Will we see you in the NBA one day?
I could not tell you. I mean, I'm going to work hard, and that's my ultimate goal, to get to the NBA. I mean, that's every kid's goal who plays sports, is to get to a pro level. So obviously that would be a dream, but it's really not up to me. I mean, I'm going to work hard and do the best I can in what I do. So hopefully at some professional level, whether it may be Europe or the NBA, I mean, you never know. I mean, you never know with injuries and the way things work out. So.
Well, Luke Loucks, what a player, what a kid. One of the best athletes in our viewing area. And with basketball season coming up, if you're a high school sports fan, get out and watch Luke Loucks play basketball over the next few months. He is phenomenal on the hard court. As much as we like watching him here tonight, basketball really his thing. More to come with Countryside and Clearwater. 19-point advantage for the Cougars. We're back after this on the Catch 47 Game of the Week. Here at halftime, Countryside leads Clearwater 28-9. And joining us this week, specially filling in for my broadcast partner week in and week out, Jeff Carlson, is Lawrence Samuels from the Tampa Bay Storm. Lawrence, again, thank you so much for filling in as analyst this week. And while we're at it, we may go ahead and ask you a few questions about the season coming up. Now, you told me right before kickoff some shocking news. You're still kind of pondering whether to return for season number 14, I believe it is?
15.
15.
I'll be returning this year.
You will be returning this year.
Yeah,
so go ahead and squash that before.
Yeah, I will be returning this year.
What can we expect from the Storm? Last year started so slow, but then you guys made the run, got into the postseason, left in the first round, but still altogether, what's the vibe like now in the offseason?
Well, everybody, we all call each other and we talk about last season, but we're very excited about the next. And we have most of our parts of our team coming back. And the guys are, we're all training hard in the offseason, and everybody's talking and saying, man, we could have went further than what we did. But, it's I always say you win with experience. And we had a lot of experienced guys last year. We just didn't really gel at the beginning of the year, start out 0-5. But, we really turned it on at the end of the year. And I tell you, playing with those guys, it's a special group. We have, we have the all-time winningest coach. And we have a good group and a good organization. So with that in mind, I think we can compete and actually bring home another championship.
Oh, man, well, we cannot wait to ride along right with you, just like we did this past season, hopefully to another playoff berth. What a season it was in 2007. Some of the highlights from tonight, it has been Countryside and Clearwater going back and forth early on. Countryside opening up the playbook. They get Martavis Jones there on the little swing pass, march it right down the field, and Maurice Threets takes it in for the touchdown.
Yeah, he's having a phenomenal night. He just really established himself early. The offensive line has really come out and set the tone. And the guys are, this play right here, I'll tell you, the coach, he said that they were going to run some trick plays, and they really set that up with their play calling tonight.
It was Ryan Epps on the reception. Then they came back with Dorrance Roberts there on the run. So it was Threets and Roberts, that 1-2 punch. Boy, he took a shot right there, but watch the concentration by Martavis Jones.
Yeah, awesome catch with his hands, body control, everything you ask for out of a receiver. And there you go again with the running back Threets. Him and Roberts are a two-headed monster over there, and they really established themselves early, like I said.
Halftime stats, rushing yards have really told the story. Clearwater's run the ball pretty well as well, but the Cougars with Threets and Roberts have shredded the Tornadoes D for 219 yards. Passing yards, both teams underneath 100. The total yards belong to the Cougars. Turnovers, not really a factor tonight, and neither are penalties. Cougars penalized 3 times for 15 yards, so it has been a very clean game so far tonight, and that doesn't usually happen on the game of the week. A lot of times this year it seems like referees have liked to throw the hankies. But let's see if Loucks and company can make this a contest in the second half, as Countryside just flat out dominated that second quarter.
Well, you have to look at, the last week when they played Palm Harbor, they were down 34-0, and they come out and they establish themselves and outscore Palm Harbor 24-3. So it's a very unpredictable Clearwater team, and you really have to be careful coming up into the second half going up against them.
Well, we'd like to thank Beef O'Brady's for feeding our crew. Jim Tomko at 226 37th Avenue North in St. Pete. There's the number, 897-9686. For all your tailgating needs, give Beef O'Brady's a phone call. I just want to ask this too before we turn the page so quickly there. How are you feeling? You said going into your 15th season. Physically, how is your body holding up? Do you feel that you're as fresh now as you were when you were 25?
Oh, I feel great. As I get older, I'm a lot wiser in my preparation. I really don't stop preparing myself for the next season. And I tell you, it's done wonders for my career, especially toward the latter part of my career.
Lawrence Samuels from the Tampa Bay Storm. We're privileged to have him alongside us tonight, filling in as color commentator. As the Tornadoes will come out with it. And it's number 23, Justin Merchant, who gets it up to the 27-yard line. So Clearwater will take over at the 27. And Luke Loucks back out onto the field. We hope you enjoyed our halftime piece on him. Loucks did not have as many attempts in that first half as we thought he would have coming into tonight. Clearwater wanting to establish the ground game. Here's Loucks looking downfield and has got a man, but it's in and out of the arms of Brett Bostic. Boy, it looks like he had it, but he ran into his teammate, number 2, Chris Sackman.
Yeah, you had two guys in the same area, and I think they had a little bit of miscommunication right there, and the receivers just seemed like they were in the same spot, and Luke hit one guy, and it seemed like the other guy thought the ball was coming to him.
Well, a personal foul called on the Cougars, so we'll march off 15, and Clearwater will start the half with a 15-yard gain at the 41-yard line. Tom Bostic from Clearwater had a conversation with our own Roxanne Wilder just as he came out of the locker room. Roxanne, what did he say? Well, we will talk to Roxanne here in just a minute as we take a look at this play. Luke Loucks out of the shotgun, wants to throw it downfield. Under pressure, Loucks gets it away, and he's got Sackman on the catch. That is good for a Tornado first down. Roxanne, your conversation with Coach Bostic, how'd it go?
Check 1, 2, check. I can hear it now. Maybe it was in the 2 position. I'm sorry.
Tackle Countryside, number 8, Rashard Young. Call the play to Clearwater, first down.
Well, we will just get to Roxanne in just a minute, having a few audio problems down there. As Clearwater picks up a first down, it's now 1st and 10 from the 48. 4 wide receivers in the game, different formation here, Lawrence, at the top of the screen.
Yeah, they're lined up in a bunch formation, but they're motioning the guy back over into 4 wide.
Flag on the play. Loucks gets it to Malcolm Grigley. It's incomplete, and a flag looks like it's in the area of holding. It'll be called an illegal motion, so that'll cost the Tornadoes 5 yards.
Wasn't set a second before the other one went in set.
Well, once again, that conversation with Coach Bostic. Roxanne, please fill us in.
Okay, we're going to try again. I think we got it now. But I have to tell you what Coach Tom Bostic told me. He said that he talked to the guys about making adjustments on defense. And he also said the last game they played, they scored 24 points in the second half. If Clearwater can do that again tonight, at this point they win the game. So he tried to pep them up a little bit. And also, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but number 2 has been in and out of the game. Sackman, he said he's going to be back in the game. And he is just had a stomach virus, but he's a tough guy. He'll be in there. Back upstairs to you guys.
All right, Roxanne, thank you very much. As another flag comes down, we'll take a look for the very first time at our St. Pete Times scoreboard. A surprising one right there. Chamberlain and Plant, the Chiefs. And that was a scary matchup for the Panthers, leading by 2. Chamberlain over Plant late. Hillsborough shutting out Gaither. And Jefferson easily handling Alonzo. Also a surprise. Brandon having a big time year. Shutting out Bloomingdale. Largo, another victim in Seminole. Not too far away from here. We'll have more scores coming up throughout the night. Loucks still operating out of the shotgun. Clearwater likely to open this thing up a little bit more, and Loucks finds some real estate and nearly gets it up to midfield before he picks up 7 yards. So Loucks, it looks like Clearwater opening things up a little bit more here to start the third quarter.
Yeah, they're finding themselves behind right now at 28-9, and you know, with the time difference and the clock's running, they're going to have to open it up a little bit more and attack, you know, further on down the field. It looks like Countryside has changed their look on their defense. Look, they went to a 4-3 defense right there, but they're playing a lot of man coverage, so they might be able to get a deep ball down the field because it's no safety out in the middle of the field.
Sackman in motion. Loucks looking at him, but he decides to throw to number 28, Roscoe Pierce. And Pierce, with the knee down, is close to a Clearwater first down. Boy, when Loucks goes back to throw, I mean, there has been openings tonight in this Countryside defense. I mean, the throws are there.
Well, for the most part, the offensive line for Clearwater has been protecting them pretty well, and giving them a chance to look down the field and find some open guys. I'm looking at Countryside in the secondary. They're playing a lot of man coverage, so you know you're going to find some guys open in the secondary, and if the line's giving him time to throw the ball, he's really doing a good job of getting the ball downfield.
It's a third down and a long one. Clearwater will hand it off, and with the tough yardage as Danny Sanford, that's going to be very close to a first down. All depends on the spot. If it's not a first, that'll bring up fourth, and Clearwater will be faced with a decision. They're going to have to bring it out and measure this one very close. Countryside will trot over to chat with head coach John Davis as take a look at the numbers on Danny Sanford. 74 yards rushing tonight. We want to remind you that next Friday, right here on Catch 47, join us for the game of the week. The season is winding down. Next week, we'll be at Gibbs High School, the new Gibbs High School, where the Largo Packers will be visiting. That is live right here on Catch 47. As we take a look at the measurement, just shy of a first down. We're talking about 8 inches there. So what do you do in this situation?
Well, you know you have big number 99 on the sideline, and they use them in the short yardage package. So you might look for Joe Marshall to come into the ball game right here if they're looking to pick up the 4th and inches right here.
Well, I would say either use 99 or just use number 5. Just stretch it across. That is so close.
And number 3, he's been doing a great job running the football through the middle for Clearwater. So, they have a lot of options right here.
Countryside faithful, always colorful on the sidelines for the Cougars. Always dressed up. Well, here's a big play. 4th and very short. Countryside's trying to stuff it, but Luke Loucks easily surges forward for the first down. Well, Lawrence, you had some experience at the high school level coaching a couple years ago at Wharton. Any possibility you try your hand in coaching again at any time soon?
Well, right now I'm taking it easy, training, getting ready for the next season. But it's probably in the future. I probably might, go back into coaching. And I enjoyed it a lot, especially at the high school level with the kids and interacting with them. And, they do a lot of great things on the field, and just trying to give them an opportunity to get to college is really big.
Well, Loucks goes down. He's sacked. Blake Johnson, number 53, was there applying the pressure. As Cougars starting to come at him. And once again, Chris Ramsey, the big defensive tackle, was there. But there's a look at Blake Johnson, another productive player, the middle linebacker, heart and soul of this Countryside defense. He is only a junior, played at nose guard as a sophomore, but Johnson's shown that he is a big-time linebacker. He can move around. Loucks' pass complete. It's Chris Sackman spinning free, yards after the catch, and Sackman all the way down to the 25. Well, that was impressive. You know a little bit about this, Lawrence. Yards after the catch.
Yeah. That's a great move right there. Another great move, and Sackman, he's really toughened it out tonight. He was a little ill at the beginning of the game, but he's come back and he's caught 3 receptions for 56 yards and averaging 18.7 yards a catch with the one score early in the game.
Sackman stays in the game. 104 wideouts. Loucks is going to the air. Clearwater's got to air this out if they want to win, and knocking it down, wreaking havoc, was Chris Ramsey, number 4. Countryside cheerleaders having some fun tonight. The Cougars came all the way to the other side of the field to get some face time. And the crowd responding as we get a look at the numbers on Luke Loucks. 28-19, a touchdown here puts it within reach for the Tornadoes, but they just need points. Loucks will take off himself, and Luke Loucks takes a shot, but gets it to the 15 and is very close to a Tornadoes first down. Well, what'd you think of Loucks' highlights on the basketball court? You had never seen him play basketball until you saw that piece at halftime.
Like I said, it's amazing. He's an amazing quarterback also, but watching him on the basketball court, he's phenomenal with the no-look passes behind the back. Oh, man, it's awesome. Look, we got man coverage again all the way across the board.
Second and short. They'll hand it off to Danny Sanford. And Sanford has a Tornadoes first down. So it'll be first and goal for Clearwater. And I've been impressed by the way that Clearwater has come out of the locker room at halftime. It's always so important how you start the third quarter, and this drive sort of a statement that the Tornadoes aren't quitting anytime soon.
Well, they showed in weeks past that they're not going to quit, and they really come out and establish themselves in the second half, and this is big. This is a big drive for them. They really need to get some points to really get back in this game.
Crowd cheering on the Tornadoes offense. Let's see if Loucks and company can punch it in. Luke takes off inside the 5 and dragged down at the 1. That was all about will and just wanting it.
Look like Loucks is putting the team on his shoulders, driving them down the field. And here comes big 99 and 44 into the ball game.
Boy, if I saw 99 checking in and I was on defense for Countryside, I'd be checking out.
You might almost just want to let him go ahead on and score than give him the ball.
The Tornadoes version of Snowball is in the game. As a goal line formation now for Clearwater. They'll hand it off.
Touchdown.
Is it a touchdown? No signal yet. And there it is. Touchdown, Clearwater.
That was Joe Marshall on the touchdown. Like we said before, they use him on the goal line package and short yardage, and like I said, he's a load to bring down.
6'2", 335 pounds. He used all of that weight on that play. Joe Marshall with the big touchdown, and Clearwater has cut into this Countryside lead. There's the numbers. He's carried it only 5 times all year now after that one. Here's Julian Bowe for the extra point. This would make it a 12-point game. And the kick is up and good. So Clearwater not going away just yet. They trail Countryside by 12 halfway through the third quarter. A big touchdown run by Joe Marshall, 335 pounds. He is the man both ways for the Tornadoes. Clearwater High School, one of the most historic when you talk about great moments in sports. First of all, you know, the school opened in 1906, so last year their 100th anniversary. They moved to their current location right here on Gulf to Bay in 1954. The Earl Brown area, yeah, went about 19 years, 128 wins, 11 straight winning seasons. Most wins for a coach in Pinellas County until Jerry Austin passed him in '97. 5 straight postseasons from '95 to '91. First playoff game in school history. They came out winners in '98 and have not made the playoffs since 2004. A 10-18 record over the past 3 years. They have struggled here at Clearwater, and that is what Coach Bostic said. He said, you know, it's not like the days of old when everybody went to Clearwater High School. There's so many new schools that have opened, and we're no longer a community school. He wants to get this program back to where it should be before he steps down.
Well, it's tough now because of the fact that you have so many high schools that has developed around the area. And just like you said before, the athletes from Countryside could easily be coming here if Countryside wasn't a school there. So with that in mind, you divide all the talent up around the county. And actually, it shows in the parity of the teams around the county, too.
Here's Brandon Lockwood on the return. And Lockwood wrestled down at the 26-yard line. Hey, Monday night at 6 o'clock, watch the Beef O'Brady's High School scoreboard. We got tons of goodies for you, including Manatee looking for their 3rd consecutive district championship. We've also got the swimming regional championships. Will Northeast Megan Romano continue her dominance at the high school level? Also coverage of district championships on the volleyball court all Monday on the Beef O'Brady's High School scoreboard only on Catch 47. Here's Jimbo Chmelnick. Countryside has spent a lot of time on that sideline after that very long Clearwater drive. That was a very pretty drive that the Tornadoes put together as Threets takes the first carry of the game up for a few yards. That was exactly what they wanted. They burned about 6 minutes off the clock and got a touchdown out of it. So really, if the Tornadoes come back and really make a game of this, that will be the key moment, I think, in this game.
Oh, yeah, you really want to get the momentum to come in your favor right after halftime, and they really, you know, established themselves in the second half early, but this is big right here.
Richard Shockley wide open, gaping hole, right side, and Shockley. The midfield and all the way to the 45. Boy, he has had a huge night receiving as Richard Shockley with another big play for the Cougars.
There he landed up at fullback. And he just went out to the flat and nobody was out there covering. Big time play right there.
That play not going anywhere for Countryside. Richard Shockley, we talked about him. He actually came in tonight a little bit banged up. He hasn't looked like it. You know, he could be one of the best linebackers in Pinellas County if he played defense full time, but instead he's lining up at fullback, catching passes, but this kid's got great hands, can do a little bit of everything. Not really fast enough to be a wide receiver, but doesn't really fit the mold either of a tight end or a fullback. So the question with a kid like this in college is, where do you put him? You know, the kid can play football, but it's just a matter of finding a place for him. Maurice Threets' place has been in the backfield and running right through Clearwater's defense all night, but you look at a guy like Shockley, is that a good problem to have, to not really have a specific position or where a coach can identify and say, hey, I want you to play here?
Well, that is a good problem to have because of the fact that you're so versatile and you can play in so many situations. You know, you can play the fullback position, you can play the tight end position. And he's making plays, no matter what kind of speed or all physical attributes you have. If a player is a football player, he's going to make plays, and he's been making plays all night tonight.
So here's Chmelnick. He'll hand it off. That's your guy, Dorrance Roberts. He's got a Countryside first down as he got it to the 31. We'll move the chains again.
I tell you, this two running back system really creates problems for the defense because they both have different running styles. And I think number 20, Dorrance Roberts, he has a more downhill attack. Where you have number 5, Maurice Threets, he's more shifty type running back. He finds the hole and he hits the hole pretty hard too.
Countryside will hand it to Roberts. And toughening up front is that Clearwater Tornadoes front. Pumped up is Jamon Hunter. You saw the emotion from Jamon. They have not had many plays tonight where they have stopped a Countryside runner short of the line of scrimmage. Another look at our St. Pete Times scoreboard and some scores from Pasco County. Gulf on top of Zephyr Hills, 21-6. Ridgewood leading Springstead. Burnell Arline, we saw him a couple weeks back. Armwood shutting out Freedom. As Roberts gets the corner. And Dorrance Roberts has another first down for Countryside. Stevie Thomas and Bogosiega, 28-0.
That's big for him. I called him to get a little insight on the Countryside team, and he said that they're really good and they're really showing it tonight. Their offense is very explosive. And he really liked this kid here, Dorrance Roberts. He's just a junior, so he'll be back next year.
So much speed. They'll go up the gut with it. A short gain for the Cougars. Well, you played with Bogosiega, Coach Stevie Thomas. What was he like as a player? Was there anybody tougher than Stevie Thomas?
I tell you, I learned a lot from Stevie Thomas. I was his backup for a number of years, and my game is a model off his. And Stevie really helped me out throughout my course of my career learning the game of arena football.
Second down and 6 for Countryside. They'll give to Roberts. And this will bring up a key third down play for Countryside. It's going to be about 3rd and 5 as Maurice Threets now checks into the game. Dorrance Roberts will head out, and a big stop is needed from this Clearwater defense.
This is a big play right here. Clearwater came out and established himself early in the second half, and if they can get a stop and hold them down to 3 points, it'll be big.
Crowd chanting defense. They'll give to Threets, and Maurice Threets is going to be very close. They mark it at the 9, and that should be enough to move the sticks.
Might be a little short.
This may call for a measurement. Let's see. Yes, it is. Just a few inches short. Pardon me. Looked like on the initial spot it was good enough. but it's going to be less than a yard now away from a first down. So now it's decision time for John Davis. And I believe the coach is going to go for it. And why not? I mean, you're down in deep in Clearwater territory, and you've been running the football at will.
Well, I'll tell you, yards of the middle has really been tough with 99 in the middle. And Big Joe Marsh has really been stuffing the run. He's been getting double teamed a lot, I see, and he's opening up a lot of tackles for the other guys.
Boy, that was a quick third quarter. When we come back, the fourth quarter, 28-16, Countryside leads. Beginning of the fourth quarter, time for our trivia question. Let's take a look at this play before that comes up. Is Countryside with a 4th and short, and they give it to Maurice Threets, who has a first down and is stopped at the 1. So nearly a touchdown for Countryside. More importantly, a first down. They keep the drive alive. Our trivia question: in the 70s, Clearwater went on a multi-season win streak. How many straight games did they win, and who was the head coach? We'll give you the answer in just a few minutes, but I believe with our Tornadoes timeline, we may have answered that question just a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
But you never know with the trivia question and what our producer Chris McCulley has up his sleeve. You never know. So we'll check the answer in just a few minutes. As Countryside tries the middle of that defense, and there's no gain. That'll bring up a second down.
I tell you, Michael Holmes is really having a big ball game for Clearwater at linebacker. He's really coming up and making a lot of stops at the line of scrimmage.
Michael Holmes, a junior. Right now they need a stop. They'll pitch it out, and it's Threets barreling his way into the end zone for the Countryside touchdown. The Cougars continuing to put points on the board. They have scored nearly every time they've had it from the second, third, and now fourth quarters as Maurice Threets makes it look easy.
I tell you, Clearwater is going to have to open up the offense just a little bit more now because the clock is going to become a factor later on in the ball game.
The kick is up and good. So it is 35-16. Countryside extends back to a 19-point lead after the touchdown by Maurice Threets. What a ball game he has had tonight. Well, Drew Felios, Lawrence Samuels, along with you tonight with Roxanne Wilder, who is down on the field and who has been working hard getting the scoop on the sideline. Roxanne, what's going on?
Well, this isn't a sideline scoop per se, but I'll tell you what, the Dunedin Falcons are pretty happy tonight. They're also in Class 5A District 9, and they're sitting home, and they may earn a playoff spot tonight. Eastlake is playing Palm Harbor, and Eastlake is ahead 21-7. If Eastlake goes on to win this game, then Dunedin wins the division, and they will go to the playoffs. Back upstairs to you guys.
Roxanne sizing up the district. Dunedin has looked so impressive this year. Really amazing that they have 3 losses because they're a team that really does it all. They got the strong running game. They can throw the ball with a Clearwater transfer, Darius Anderson, and also one of the top running backs in the area, and Darius Bellamy. Short kickoff. It'll be fielded at the 20 by Brett Bostic. Bostic gets it to the 26, and that's where the Tornadoes will start. So Clearwater came out tonight looking for the upset. Tornadoes lost last week to Palm Harbor. They've fallen in their last 2 out of the last 3 weeks. And tonight it's just been, they've been able to move the football on Countryside. They just have not been able to contain the running game with the Cougars. Maurice Threets and Dorrance Roberts have just been too much.
All right, they've moved the ball all night long, but the defensive side, you know, the 2 running backs and the offensive line play for Countryside has really come along, and it's really set the tone in this game. big time catch.
Chris Sackman with the catch. On the other side of the field, Luke Loucks found his favorite receiver, and you can just see the value of number 2, Chris Sackman, when he is in the football game.
These two, they really have their chemistry down pat. I tell you, he looks for number 2 when he gets in trouble. He uses his feet to buy a little time, and what can you say when you have a receiver like Chris Sackman that will go up and catch the ball? Hey, that's where you go.
Loucks pump fakes and throws it, and it is incomplete. Thursday at 6:30, Joe Gervin sits down with new Lightning assistant Coach Mike Sullivan to talk about his relationship with John Tortorella throughout the years and Mike's aptitude for teaching and connecting to the players. It's Lightning Strikes every Thursday at 6:30 and 8:30 right here on Catch 47. It is our newest show in the lineup. Lightning Strikes with Joe Gervin only on Catch 47. There's the numbers on Loucks. Seems like he's had more throwing yards, doesn't it?
Yeah. But like I said, they're going to open up the offense at this point. You know, the clock's becoming a factor now.
Here's Loucks. Under pressure again, has to get out of it, and has that one nearly picked off as Richard Shockley had a shot at it, and he was looking for Chris Sackman.
Yeah, he's double teamed on that play, so he might want to look at some of the other weapons that he has on the field.
Under heavy pressure that time, it was number 16, Tevin Spates, who forced the hurry. Third down now, 10 yards to go. You'd think 4 down territory here for the Tornadoes.
A lot of man coverage.
4 wide receivers and Loucks out of the shotgun. Still looking. Finally gets it away, and Danny Sanford cannot hang on. Tough break for Luke Loucks.
He does a great job with his footwork, buying time and looking downfield.
Just a little bit too hard, you think?
A little bit too hard.
Sometimes a fullback doesn't have those hands that a wide receiver has.
No, but I tell you that they all been doing a great job tonight. He's been doing a good job looking down the field, and he's just a leader, and he's doing the things that a leader does. They're trying to make plays, and he's not giving up. You can tell the way he's still fighting.
4th down. Loucks trying to convert. A flag comes down, and for Clearwater, a catch is made. But let's check out the flag as Justin Merchant able to salvage it before it hits the ground. But again, a flag thrown at the 40.
Yeah, we might get a holding call right there.
I believe you're right. Loucks with the referee now discussing, but I don't think they're going to have any options on this play.
Block in the back, 78.
So a block in the back.
Block in the back.
Did not see it. Let's see if we can pick it up here. 78. Let's take a look at him.
I guess they called that right at the end right there.
Tough call.
Yeah, you're going to get those kind of penalties with the quarterback scrambling around trying to buy time. You know, the offensive linemen, they don't know where the quarterback is, so they're just going to try to protect him at all costs.
So Luke Loucks now will try again, and this time just heave it. Sackman is in the neighborhood, but cannot catch up to it. A valiant effort for the Tornadoes, but they'll turn it over on downs now, and the Cougars with a chance with 10-14 remaining to put this game away. They got to be impressed by the effort from number 5 and also his receivers, his offensive line. Clearwater has played very well tonight, just maybe a few too many weapons on the other side.
Well, I'm very impressed with the secondary play with Countryside. They've really come together. They play a lot of man coverage, which is very unorthodox in the high school level.
The rushing leaders in Pinellas County, Countryside among the elite. And they'll keep it on the ground with Brent Skinnell. As now the second and third team are starting to get some playing time. Positive yardage for Skinnell, pickup of 8. Well, your first taste of high school football, Lawrence, so far in 2007, you like what you see?
Oh, I love it. I love it. Actually, I'm very impressed with both coaching staffs. Very impressed.
Second down and 2. And it's Dorrance Roberts. Just before he gets the first down, Clearwater pulls him back. As Rob Kazanowski got the back of his jersey and prevented him from getting a first down. That'll bring up a 3rd down and 2. Well, as we said, next week we are at Gibbs High School. The following week we are in Polk County for a huge contest. Lakeland Kathleen at Lakeland. What a matchup that should be. And you talk about a rockin' Bryant Stadium. Man, oh man. And we got the playoffs, so lots to come here football-wise over the next few weeks as Dorrance Roberts making his case for Cats 47 player of the game, gets it to the 31 and has a Cougars first down.
Tell you, as right now, Countryside is controlling the ball and they're controlling the clock, which is big. And Clearwater, if they want to make a stand, they need to make a stand right now. They really need to establish himself on defense and make a stand and get the ball back in Luke's hands where he can make some plays downfield.
Productive night for Roberts. As a fresh set of downs for the Cougars. Here's Schmelnick, unloads it. Maurice Threets, he's loose. Flag is down. Threets scores a touchdown, but is likely to come back.
Nice screen call right there by the coach, and he got, there it is again. He's got the ball to the athlete. Big night by Threets, but I think it's going to come back with a block in the back.
Usually on the screen, that is the call, if there is a call on the offensive side, other than a hold, of course. But the second time in the past few minutes we've seen this call. If it stands, let's see.
Block in the back on the offense. Repeat the down. Was that it?
That's why you're up here, Lawrence. Countryside will try again. Threets will take a break as he has had a very busy night. We talked about Maurice Threets and not playing the first 2 games because he missed all of his summer workouts. When something like that happens, Lawrence, where there's one guy on a team who's not really playing by the same rules as all the other guys, how does that affect the team, and what does that guy have to do to get his teammates' confidence back?
Well, you have to give credit to the coach for being a disciplinarian and to hold him out for 2 games. As talented as he is, he really has to learn that it's a team sport. And he has guys up front blocking for him, and it's just not all of him. And with that in mind, I think Coach Davis is really on point to where you have to discipline any player on the team and treat them all the same.
Martavis Jones on the reception, but you got to think that Maurice Threets has learned his lesson because you can tell by his play on the field. He is playing with a renewed sense of confidence as we get a look at the reception by Jones.
And also with that said, with his play, he's really gaining the respect of his teammates.
give it again. It's Roberts, who's been filling in for Threets when he's not on the field. But Coach Davis, you said that he's a disciplinarian. He told us about that whole process. And at Countryside High School, he gets a lot of feedback, let's just put it that way. A lot of parents that like to participate in the goings of the athletic department. And of course, as a coach, you expect that. You expect parents to have their say, but especially at Countryside, the coaches that have coached there in the past have said that that is a place by far where the parents like to participate more than any other school.
Well, you want your parents involved, you know, especially with the Booster Club and things like that. You want that kind of support. You know, with that support in mind, you know the kids know somebody's backing them every step of the way, not only just the coaching staff, but the parents and the fans. And if you get the student body behind you, you can build a program behind that kind of support. So I think that's big to have the parents involved.
Look at the numbers on Maurice Threets, nearly 200 yards rushing with 3 touchdowns. Roberts will give it a try. He gets inside the 10. When we talk about Countryside and the parent participation, Darnell Coles, the baseball coach at Countryside, Lawrence, this is a little lesson here on high school sports, was coaching baseball, just flat out resigned, said, I cannot deal with the parents at Countryside High School. So more and more around our area, parents getting more and more involved in high school sports. In a lot of ways it is good, in a lot of ways it puts a lot of pressure on everybody around the sport.
Well, as a coaching staff, you know, you have to have boundaries. You know, the parents they do have to let the coach, you know, do his job, and he has to control his team. You know, you can't have parents crossing the boundaries going on to the football field, but you do want the support off the field.
Richard Shockley, as we're talking, scores a touchdown for Countryside, and that is going to just about do it, as the Cougars now have extended to a 41-16 lead. They have shown the complete offensive arsenal tonight. And Shockley has had a huge night.
I'll tell you real quietly, Shockley has had a big night. Coming out of the backfield, making plays, and also with his blocking skills. I'm very impressed with him blocking for the running back out of the backfield on the sweep play. His block has been a very big part of Maurice Threets and Roberts getting out of the backfield. He's a big part of the offense. He's a special player to actually take on that blocking assignment and can do it well.
5:47 left to go in this contest. Countryside cruising. Our trivia question, we asked you back in the 70s, Clearwater went on a multi-season win streak. How many straight games did they win? Who was the head coach? Well, there you go. 33 straight under legendary head coach Earl Brown. And Brown recently passed away in April. 128 victories in 20 seasons. What a career for the late Earl Brown, a figure here at Clearwater High School. Drew Felios, Lawrence Samuels, and Roxanne Wilder with you tonight. We hope you've enjoyed our broadcast from Clearwater High School as the Countryside Cougars have opened up a 42-16 lead. And Clearwater right now just trying to make the score respectable. Brett Bostic returns it up to the 35. Roxanne Wilder active down on the field tonight. Rox, what you got?
Well, guys, I don't know if you heard earlier when I was talking to Coach Davis, we talked about the guys have actually been practicing celebrating. Countryside Cougars have been practicing celebrating because they were playing too selfish. So they needed to learn to actually go up to each other, smack each other, pat each other on the back, high five, whatever it takes to acknowledge each other when they do things well and really play as a team. So they've done that successfully. So I don't think they need to do it in practice anymore. I think they've got it nailed. Back upstairs to you guys.
Roxanne, why don't you give your photographer there a smack right there? There you go. Matt Coombs down there working hard. Loucks throws it downfield, and he's got Sackman. What a catch by Chris Sackman. Back to that celebration. Lawrence, how important is that as we take a look at Loucks to Sackman again? to show that emotion with your teammates and to have fun out there?
You know, it's all about having fun. You know, even in practice, you know, sometimes it's funny that you do have to practice those type of things. You really don't even think about it, but you know, on our level, we get to celebrate in the end zone. We kind of practice our celebrations, and it's a big part. You know, when you appreciate it, when your teammate is making plays, and you want to, you know, show them your appreciation as a team. Everybody's celebrating and having a good time out there.
Justin Merchant on the catch as Luke Loucks found him. Clearwater not giving up. Still time on the clock.
That was a big time catch by Chris Sackman across the middle.
Loucks looking to his left, and it's broken up. Nice play on defense by Chris Bostic. This Countryside defense has been active tonight, and Bostic, one of those guys that has played a key role in the secondary.
Yeah, like I said before, it's very, very rare that you see a defense play a lot of man coverage like Clearwater or like Countryside has, and they've really been doing a good job about going about themselves, playing a lot of man coverage tonight.
That'll bring up 3rd down and 3. Loucks under pressure, gets away from Ramsey, still alive, and throws incomplete. Boy, it was just off the hands of Merchant. Loucks doing everything he can to keep his team in striking range, or at least putting up some more points, but just came up a little bit short.
That's a great job by the quarterback, buying time and using his footwork to just even get a chance to throw the ball downfield right there.
There's the numbers on Loucks, 150 yards nearly. Touchdown on his opening drive, but since then, it's been tough work against this Countryside defense. There's Chris Sackman. He's had big catches tonight. 5 of them for 104 yards, a big touchdown catch on the very first drive. Then got sick about midway through the first quarter. Did not hear from him until like the 3rd, and he's been making plays in the second half. 4th down. Tornadoes will run it. And it's going to be a first down for Danny Sanford. They'll move the chains. Well, you got to love how Clearwater are likely going to fall in this contest, but still just battling till the final gun.
Oh, they don't give up. And like we said before, outscoring Palm Harbor 24-3 in the second half, you know, down 34-0. Most teams, they kind of fold and get ready for next week, but this Clearwater team is still fighting it out to the end.
Loucks with the little pass to Danny Sanford. Boy, did you see on that play right there, Lawrence? Loucks under pressure, and he was pressured by Chris Ramsey, just kind of put the stiff arm and just shoved him down. Watch this play one more time. This is the strength of Loucks right there.
Wow. Wow.
I mean, Chris Ramsey is 6'3", 235 pounds, and Loucks just pushed him off.
And still has the presence to throw the ball down the field.
Oh, man. Loucks slings it. Boy, his receivers right now having a hard time hanging on. Justin Merchant could not squeeze it. And there's been a lot of those passes, seems like this year. A lot of the ones that Loucks has had picked off have been balls that have been just off fingertips or have been tipped up or have been catchable.
Well, I'm very impressed with his presence of watching and looking at the receivers downfield. He's making great reads, but you know, his receivers have to make plays and help him out a little bit right there. Those numbers really doesn't show the type of passes that he's been throwing today. He's been really on target. Lining up in the shot.
Loucks will waggle right. Got to throw it. Middle of the field, dangerous pass. A flag does come down as it was tipped up, intended for Danny Sanford, but let's check out the penalty. believe this one could be going on Countryside.
Holding call.
Has not been too many flags thrown tonight, especially in the first half. Only had 4 total, but second half they've racked up a little more. Let's check the call.
2 fouls. We have a hold.
So that is an automatic Clearwater first down.
Then we got a dead ball foul, personal foul.
Another one to tack on. So in this situation, they take the personal foul, you'd imagine?
No, they get to have both fouls. Dead ball foul. They get to get both fouls. And this will move the ball half the way distance to the goal line, I think. I think that, yeah.
So
no, they move it, but it's fine.
Well, Clearwater is now in business.
Game.
That's right. That's a big game. That's a big play.
Big play.
And there are the penalties racking up for Countryside. They only had like 3 at the end of that first half. Here's Loucks rolling the other way. Eludes the pressure. Boy, that was big time, but he's not going to get away from this one. Just too many guys in white, and it takes all of them to bring down Luke Loucks. Leading the way, Emerito Aceveda, big number 84. It was Chris Foreman, number 82, really slowed him down, got a hand of his jersey, and Loucks could not get away.
Yeah, he's been running for his life most of the night, but he's been, successful in elusiveness, getting away from the defense, but that time they caught up with him.
Second down. Loucks will throw it over the middle, and it's caught. Squeezed by Justin Merchant. He's had a lot of opportunities on this drive, and he's got it to the 5-yard line. Tornadoes can get a first down without scoring. This brings up about a second down and short.
Like I said before, Luke has really been on target all night long. All he needs is some guys that's going to make some plays for him, and Merchant and Sackman have really been doing a great job catching the ball tonight.
Check that third down. They'll mark it at the 5, and they can get to about the 2 for a first down. Loucks will keep it in the air, try and punch it into the end zone, and yes, it is caught by Justin Merchant for a Tornadoes touchdown. A round of applause from the home Clearwater Tornadoes side as the crowd really appreciating their team continuing to play on, even though they're likely going to leave here with a loss.
This is a great low throw. The receiver went down, got his hands under the football, and made a great catch right there.
Going for 2 is Clearwater. Loucks still running. Boy, he just does not give up. Looking towards the end zone, and he gets in for the 2-point conversion. Boy, he has put on a show in this second half.
Like we said in the opening, this kid is amazing what he can do with the football on the football field.
Well, Lawrence, when's the last time you've seen a quarterback like that at the high school level? I mean, I'm sure you've seen some great ones, but this has been pretty impressive tonight.
Oh, he's been really impressive. I've been very impressed with him just in warm-ups, watching him throw the ball against air. He's phenomenal. He's phenomenal, I'll tell you. If he can probably get a football scholarship.
I'll tell you what, well,
State.
It's interesting you mentioned that. He's going to Florida State with Drew Rutherford and Xavier Lee right now struggling. He could be the best quarterback on campus next year.
They probably need to come down here and give him a look. He might need to send this tape right here to Florida State. I tell you, he's a great quarterback. And he's putting the ball on the receivers, and he's looking downfield. He's got all the intangibles that that quarterback And it shows.
Let's take a look at that two-point conversion one more time. Loucks wanted to throw it, but never gave up on it. And once he saw that goal line, there was no stopping him.
He has some speed on it.
He definitely does. Clearwater tries the onside kick and does not get it. We want to tell you about our new show on Catch 47 called Press Box. Join St. Pete Times writer Tom Jones along with his media roundtable as they look back on the Bucks and Jaguars, USF in Connecticut, Seminoles and Duke. Can't forget about that one. Also, the Florida Gators and Georgia Bulldogs. That's this Tuesday, 6:30 and 8:30 on Catch 47's Press Box only on, you guessed it, Catch 47. But tonight, as both of these teams continue to go at it, it's Alton Taylor into the game, getting his name into the box score. This has just been altogether a very well-played football game. Both teams have really left it out on the field, and when you look at these two teams, I mean, both of them can leave here tonight with very positive vibes from what has gone on for the past 48 minutes of regulation.
I tell you, they really hadn't disappointed us at all on both sides of the ball. And, you know, all the star players have really shown their talent tonight.
As we said, Countryside will take on Eastlake next week. They'll follow that up with a date with Seminole. They need that win against Eastlake because that will clinch a playoff berth for the Cougars. Meanwhile, Clearwater has to take on Tarpon Springs in 2 weeks, so next week they'll be off. They'll finish up with the Spongers, and of course, Clearwater and Tarpon Springs, they need no introduction. A very historic rivalry between two of Pinellas County's oldest high schools. Big night for that guy, Jimbo Chmelnick, who really played well. 100% passing in the first half. As Ryan Epps now in the football game for Countryside. And if I'm not mistaken, Chmelnick did not misconnect on a pass all night long. 9 of 9 throwing the ball for Jimbo Chmelnick. So a quality night, did not realize as we take a look at Ryan Epps, but Chmelnick had one of the best nights we have also seen this year on the Game of the Week.
Yeah, I think that Coach Davis had a really great game plan coming into the game. He established the running game, and then the passing game was phenomenal. Players being wide open, and Chmelnick just made great reads and got the ball to the playmakers.
Well, we also want to tell you about something very special going on November 8th, 5:30 p.m. at Straw Park. We'll carry it live, the unveiling of the new colors and logo of the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. It's a Catch 47 special presentation on November 8th, 5:30, live right here on Catch 47. Cannot wait to see what that new logo looks like, and maybe some new colors, you never know. As the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, should we even call them that? Who knows? They're going with the new look. We'll find out November 8th. And you'll see it live only here on Catch 47. Well, Lawrence, to just get you clued in here, the final 30 seconds, it's time to pick our Catch 47 player of the game. I like Maurice Threets, number 5. I like what Shockley did, but I'm going to go with Threets. Who are you going to go with?
I have to agree with you. This kid had a big ball game. You know, the coach said he had the hot hand the last 3 weeks. It showed tonight. He really hit the hole hard, and he went right through the defense of Clearwater. And I think he deserves to be the MVP for tonight.
The gun goes off. Clearwater High School and Countryside High School have concluded. The Cougars will leave Jack White Stadium with a 42-24 victory. Sportsmanship time from both teams. A well-played football game in Pinellas County, and one we have been very proud to cover. Maurice Threets, our player of the game. Coach John Davis right there. We will talk to both of them right after this on the Catch 47 Game of the Week. The Countryside Cougars leave Jack White Stadium 42-24 victors over the Clearwater Tornadoes. A game very well played on either side as both teams showed the sportsmanship at midfield. And joining us right now, head coach John Davis, from Countryside. Coach, congratulations. Long time coming on the game of the week, but the running game tonight was unstoppable. Your running backs just dominating and then opening things up for a 9 of 9 passing performance. I don't know if you knew that from your quarterback. So 100% passing, running the ball at will. Could it have gone any better on offense?
Well, I don't really think it could have. You know, I think we scored every possession we had except one, which we gave them 2 points. But, you know, offensive line did an outstanding job tonight creating some space. And then Maurice and Dorrance are, we think, as good as anybody around. So if we can get them some space, they're going to make some things happen. And it was certainly a good offensive night for us.
Hey, Coach, this is Samuels. And how hard is it to prepare against a quarterback like Loucks?
Well, I just told him, are you sure you want to play basketball? You know, I tell you what, the guy is so strong. We had him in grasp 2 or 3 times, and he completed balls down the field. Very impressed with him and number 2, to be honest with you. We couldn't cover him.
Gotcha.
So, you know, defensively we played a little bit sloppy tonight, but I'll give credit to Clearwater. You know, we've taken the ball away 26 times this year, and we didn't have a takeaway, I don't believe, tonight.
Well, Coach, the rest of your schedule now, East Lake next week, then Seminole. How big is this game next week? With a win, you guys can clinch a postseason berth.
Well, I just heard that East Lake won, so the game next week is to go to the state playoffs, whoever wins next week. So they're going to be ready for us. Bob Hudson does a great job down there. He's one of my better friends in the county, but hey, we got to go get him. You know, this is going to be a big game. You know, we had to win tonight to set that up next week, and so next week is the biggest game of the year.
Well, Coach, as Roxanne said at halftime, maybe now time for some celebration, at least momentarily.
Well, I'm going to go down there and dance right now. You know.
All right, Coach, we'll be sure to get that on camera. Congratulations.
All right, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Thanks.
All right, Coach John Davis from Countryside High School, a class act, one of the funnest coaches to be around in our entire viewing area. This guy was on fire tonight. Maurice Threets from the opening drive established the running game, and the Tornadoes did not have an answer for him, stopping him. Threets joins us right now on the sidelines. Hey, big guy, a great job. Let me just ask you this. You started the year slow because of all the stuff that happened during the summer. How rewarding is it to you to finally be at the top of your game?
It's great. I miss my team. They miss me. All I can do is pay them back for all the practices I missed over the summer, and this is my way of paying them back.
Okay, this is Samuels, Lawrence Samuels with the Tampa Bay Storm, and I really enjoyed watching you play tonight. What did you see during the preparation during the week? What did you see that you can take advantage of for coming into the ball game tonight?
Clearwater is a great team, but they're kind of lazy. Our coach pointed that out in film. He said we get the snap on go, number 99, Joe is a good friend, but he said he won't be ready, they won't be set, and that's what happened. And by offense blocking real well, that helped open up the run.
Yeah, I think you give a lot of credit to your offensive line. That's really good on your part because they opened up some great holes for you, and you really took advantage of it. And I really enjoyed watching you play tonight.
All right, thank you.
Maurice, this is actually a more athletic team, too, Countryside, than I thought going into the night. I mean, I thought this team was going to be kind of a step down from what we saw last year, but with yourself, with Dorrance Roberts, with Shockley catching it out of the backfield with the 2 quarterbacks you can use interchangeable, you guys are as good as ever. You guys have a real shot at this thing.
Yeah, I think we really do have a big shot at this thing. Everyone really want it. We're a young team. We have a few seniors leaving, but next year they'll fill it in. But we're a great team, and everyone's hungry.
Listen, Maurice Threets, hold up that helmet for us. Congratulations, the Catch 47 player of the game.
Thank you.
Maurice Threets from Countryside High School, victorious 42-24. When we come back, we'll wrap it up on the Catch 47 Game of the Week. Jack White Stadium has mainly quieted down. Fans have filed out. Countryside leaves here with an 18-point win, 42-24. Second half highlights coming right at you. Out of the locker room, it was Clearwater really establishing Loucks. I mean, we really saw what he could do in the second half when they really decided to open up, Lawrence Samuels.
Yes, he's very impressive at the quarterback position, and you can tell that the leadership for him really shone through the second half when he really had to throw the ball and make plays downfield. And he's just a leader, and he never really gave up.
That was Maurice Threets on the touchdown. He kept on rushing it. And Schmelnick with the nice play to Richard Shockley, who's not going to get the player of the game, but still, he's going to get plenty of props from us tonight. Great job.
He's a big-time player. And I'm very impressed with Countryside and their man coverage tonight. They really did a good job. And rushing the quarterback also.
Countryside all over Loucks, and both teams getting together at midfield to follow the game. 42-24 was your final score. Rushing yards, that was really the story of the game for Countryside. Passing yards, pretty even on both sides. Jimbo Schmelnick goes 9 for 9, 100%. Total yards also owned by the Cougars. 1 turnover for Clearwater. And penalties, Countryside may want to shore that up for next week. 9 times for 70 yards. Final thoughts, Lawrence Samuels.
Well, we were very impressed with both teams, and we wasn't disappointed about, the stars really came out to play for both teams. Loucks is a very impressive quarterback. He really made plays down the field. I was impressed with his technique, his intangibles of looking downfield. Maurice Threets, what can you say? He's the MVP of this game. He came out. He really established himself early. The offensive line for Countryside, they really did a good job helping him out. And the 1-2 punch for Countryside, it's big.
Well, Lawrence Samuels, listen, thank you so much, and good luck this season with the Tampa Bay Storm.
All right, thank you, Drew.
Lawrence Samuels filling in for Jeff Carlson tonight. Countryside beats Clearwater 42-24. Next week, we're at Gibbs High School, where the Largo Packers try and take on the Gladiators. That'll be live on Catch 47 at 7:30 next Friday. For our entire Catch 47 crew, Lawrence Samuels, Roxanne Wilder, I'm Drew Felios. We'll see you next time on the Catch 47 Game of the Week.